Hello, Jack.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
All righty. It was just like last week we were talking to you, I think.
Yeah.
um, how did you spend this brief off season? What did you try to do as far as working on stuff before you started the actual practice today?
Well, we had a pretty good amount of time at home with the extended winter break, and went down and I have a quarterback coach down in Arizona, so I was throwing with him. Just always trying to improve the fine details of things, get the spiral a little bit cleaner, and just get it confident coming out of my hand. Really.
As you look back at your three-game season last year, just kind of how do you evaluate how you did?
I strung together pretty good 3 games there. I mean, I think I hit above my goal for completion percentage, which is something I really wanted to improve from my first year till this year. So I'm pretty proud of that. But just a couple drives or a couple quarters that were pretty slow that could have changed the momentum of the game. I think I got to clean those up a little bit.
What will be your focus this spring then?
Really just get a completion on every single play. Like, no matter what the defense is, being able to see the coverage, and really, it's really starting to slow down for me. So just to get the pace slower, I feel comfortable, and being able to get to my third, fourth guy, get to the back on the checkdowns and stuff like that.
I mean, do you feel like how much of a better handle do you feel like you have on this offense now?
I think I know the offense like the back of my hand. I think I could teach it to anyone. It's been my fourth spring ball already. So, I mean, yeah, I think I got a pretty good grasp on the offense. I almost really know what everyone does, even the linemen. So I feel pretty good about it.
And you're an old man if this is your fourth spring.
I know. I got gray hairs.
I mean, how did you get through COVID? How did you get through that year of being, having to deal with all that kind of stuff?
It was tough, really. It was pretty stressful, actually, knowing that you can't really go around anyone. And for me, I didn't want to really leave my house, and I didn't want to go put myself out in risk, because if, I had to get the virus, or then I'd give it to some of my teammates, and it would be a whole bad experience. So I really just kind of stayed at home, which it wasn't too fun, but at least we were able to play football.
Right. I mean, did you have to give up anything? Not, food wise, but just have to give up doing something?
Yeah. I mean, just, giving up, your college experience of trying to go out and meet new people and stuff like that. I didn't do any of that. Just really hanging out with your roommates, not even really trying to hang out with other guys on the team, just really just trying to keep it as close as possible. So really the social aspect kind of.
How do you evaluate this receiving core? You don't have Rondell, but you've got established guys with David and Milton, and then just a lot of guys that are trying to find playing time. I mean, how do you assess who you'll be throwing to this year?
I think we got a great receiver room, and it seems like every year we bring in dudes who are really good and they want to compete. So, I have confidence in whoever is out on the field that they're going to get the job done. And, it really doesn't matter who's out on the field for me. I'm just going to try to get the ball to the open guy.
Is there anybody that stood out today?
Today, TJ Sheffield looked really good. Jackson looked good always. Yeah, those two really stood out to me. I mean, everyone's working hard. It's just day one. Some guys didn't get a lot of targets just because of the nature of the plays and what the defense is doing. So, we'll see how they do as spring ball progresses.
All righty, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Tom.
Hey, Jack, Brian Brom said he wants you to become more precise. What does that mean for you?
For me, I think it's the short throws for me. Getting it to where a spot where the receivers can catch and run after it instead of having to catch and maybe twist their body a little bit. So get it into a perfect spot to where we can get the most yards out of the play.
Last year, Jack, every game you guys had except one was decided by 7 points or less. Just kind of tell me, the difference there in closing the deal, how close you guys were to flipping the script, and what you need to do to get things buttoned up to make those losses wins.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're all really close games, and what it really comes down to is we got to find a way to win. I mean, no matter what happens, what we're doing is we got to have the will to win, and we got to. That's something we're working on. Kind of a theme we have for the spring is there's always a winner and a loser, so we got to find a way to be the winner.
Have you thought about how you and Aiden's roles are kind of reversed this spring or last spring? You were the guy who was limited this spring. He's the guy that's limited. I mean, have you sort of talked to him, encouraged him since he's sort of in the shoes that you were in last year coming off surgery?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel for him too. I mean, he's itching to get back out there, and I think he's actually pretty ahead of what his planned schedule is, and so he's doing some stuff out there in practice, and I think he feels like he could be doing more, and I know how that feels last year. Wanting to get out there and seeing other guys getting reps. So I mean, I feel for him right now.
Hey, I got to ask, how often do you think of that PI call at Minnesota?
It's actually something. I live with Payne Durham, so it's something we kind of joke about now. But it really kind of changed the whole dynamic of the season, really, because I mean we win that game with 3-1, and then as opposed to 2-2. So I mean, but it is what it is. That's football, and can't change it. But
hey, lastly, how are you helping Austin and Michael?
Really just trying to, they'll come up to me like in the back where if someone else is getting a rep, they'll be, hey, what's this or this? What's the read on this? What happens if a safety comes down? So just the little details, really. I mean, for the most part, they know the general idea of what they have to do. It's just there's some fine details on certain plays that sometimes they need help.